this first video, an avid cave explorer on YouTube known by the channel name Exploring Abandoned Mines and Unusual Places is exploring an abandoned mine for the simple purpose of reviewing a flashlight. During the video, you can hear the explorer goes into detail about the flashlight and demonstrates its use in the mine he's exploring. However, while talking to the camera about both the mine and the flashlight he's reviewing, the explorer hears what he first thinks to be wind blowing through the mine. Though many believe the audio sounds like a very disturbing whispering or talking sound.
Okay, this is a review and demonstration of the ThruNite TN12 handheld flashlight that you see here. Okay, that's the portal to the Waldeck mine. I'm inside. The wind has kind of died down a little bit and it's not raining, so I managed to stay dry. Of course, I'm inside this little alcove, kind of. But anyway, you come down this little incline path, and then big boulders here you have to climb over, and then the tunnel's right behind me this way. So let's check it out. Let's get in here. And like I said, this light has 5 levels. I believe it's on medium right now, which is level 3. So this would be high, and this would be turbo, which is really bright. And then this is Firefly, which is hardly anything. And then that would be low. And then medium. Medium seems to be the best one. Not too bright, not too dim. And then you can see how big these timbers are. That's about almost a foot in diameter, the big cross timbers. So they had to put big ones in here to hold up all of this rock. And you can see right here where some of these boards are bending. Do you hear that?
I don't hear anything.
Like, what is that, wind?
I hear nothing.
I don't know if you can hear that on the camera.
You're a liar. I hear it now.
Do you hear that? It stopped. Well, I don't know what that is. That doesn't sound like wind, but that's crazy. Don't know if that's a bird or I don't know what that is. It almost sounds like snakes, but wow.
It's literally just going.
I heard some weird stuff in mines, but that is definitely creepy. I don't know what that is. So let's get out of here and head back out to the portal. That was weird.
These next 2 videos come from the same
It literally was just going. It was literally just saying in like Latin, I want you to stop drinking alcohol and being a fucking weirdo.
exploring YouTube channel shown earlier. This time, however, the explorer visits an abandoned, supposedly haunted mine in Nevada known as Horton Mine. The first time he visits, he claims to feel negative energy coming from the mine, and what he witnesses goes to support his claim. However, with the popularity of the first visit, the YouTuber decides to visit the abandoned mine a second time, this time hearing something very disturbing. Here are both of those visits to the mine.
Okay, here's a lower adit at the Victorine mine. I believe this was an older mine that once they dug the upper tunnels, this got incorporated into the same claim or whatever. Okay, we can go in here and just take a quick look. I don't think I'm going to explore this particular mine. There's a little bit too much water in here, and I know this mine is really old, but yeah, water in a mine. I do see other footprints here in the mud, but I just don't think it's wise to go in here when there's water. Try to avoid this if I can. Yeah, this looks pretty sketchy. I'll go a few feet further in and check it out, but I think I'm going to pass on this one. This is one of the creepiest mine tunnels I've ever been in, just because of how dilapidated it is and all these chains hanging down from the overhead, and there's a shot looking down the tunnel. Here's a shot looking back towards the entrance. I'm a little bit further in, and looking down the tunnel here.
That chain swinging a little too hard.
I don't know why that one chain is swinging back there.
It's swinging hard.
Don't know if you can see that in the video or not. Yeah, this mine definitely has a very spooky vibe to it. So I'm going to head back out and check out the other stuff that's here. This is just too wet, too muddy. And obviously something is making the chains swing. So time to get the hell out of here.
Visit too? He's like, I gotta come back, man.
Okay, the Horton mine still has some water coming out of it. You can see it kind of pulled up here outside, and here's the portal. So let's go check this out, see if it's any drier than it was a year ago when I was last here. Okay, I'm further in than I was a year ago, and that's how far I've come. Okay, here's a final parting shot of the end of the Horton Tunnel. And there's the ore pass with all the cascading water. And what the f*** is that?
It's a radio or something.
I don't know what that was, but there was a sudden blast of cold air, and I'm getting out of here.
It just sounded like a
A man
radio.
named Clem Schultz and his wife lived in Fairdale, Illinois during one of the most destructive tornadoes in the history of Fairdale. During the storm, Clem took a video from the top floor of his house as he saw the giant tornado get closer. Clem thought the tornado would miss his house, when in fact it was coming directly towards him, all while he was still recording. Unfortunately, Clem's wife would pass away because of the intensity of the tornado, while Clem would receive a terrible spine injury. The phone he took the video on was later discovered in the rubble of his home, and this is what the video was able to capture.
He's just watching his demise. I'm watching the thing that's gonna kill my wife. That's fucked up. Some grim shit. Now why is it so blurry? The tornadoes just look like a bunch of wind. They never look like movies. Oh shit, that would be sad to see. Like, well, I'm about to die. This is it. Wouldn't you try? Shouldn't they try to leave? Oh, yeah, he should have tried to leave, right?
This next video shows a man exploring the Paris catacombs, which is a place very well known for causing people to get lost. They are essentially the most complex series of tunnels in the world. Definitely not somewhere you'd want to find yourself exploring without experience. The video shows this man getting lost and going into a full panic run as he doesn't know where to go to get out. The man was never found, but his camera later was, with no trace of the guy.
It's very bizarre. These arrows point in a direction. Occasionally also, he stops to photograph roomfuls of bones, which means that he's very, very deep inside the catacombs. So basically, he's filming what he's seeing very deep inside the catacombs, other than the point of view shots or pictures of human bones. The catacombs for centuries. So it is possible with these paintings that we may be able to retrace his itinerary to some extent. After about 4, we hear his breathing get louder and louder, as though something was scaring him. He's frightened, he's frightened. Occasionally he stops, perhaps to try to decide which way to run among all the many different corridors. He's running faster and faster and faster, deeper and deeper into the catacombs. And all of a sudden, we hear his breathing get louder and louder, as though something was scaring him. He's frightened, he's frightened.
He's frightened.
Occasionally he stops, perhaps to try to
He's
decide
frightened.
which way to run among all the many different corridors. He's running faster and faster and faster, deeper and deeper into the catacombs. And all of a sudden,
Damn. A demon was on his ass. It was just like, give me, motherfucker, I'm gonna bite you. I'm gonna rip your fucking dick off, bitch. That's straight up what happened. Damn.
As many of you know, I like to cover real-life mysteries on this channel. Solved mysteries, unsolved mysteries, partially solved mysteries, ones from way back in the past, and ones that are still ongoing today. Heck, along with scary true stories, mysteries are this channel's bread and butter. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I usually cover them in batches of 4 or 5. Recently, however, while searching online for some new cases to cover, I came across something I hadn't heard of before. Mckamey Manor, supposedly the world's most extreme, immersive horror experience. This place caught my attention for being truly strange, twisted, and shrouded in mystery. And seeing how many of you are probably bored out of your minds right now, for obvious reasons, I thought this would be a good time to do a deep dive into this dark attraction.
Who says I'm bored,
figure
man?
out if the stories about this haunt are authentic, or if they're all just smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Fair warning, I'll be using some video clips in this one that might disturb some of you.
Ooh.
Try to stick with me.
I like disturbing
Here we
stuff,
go.
man.
So, first thing you're probably asking is, lazy, what even is Mckamey Manor? According to many people, Mckamey Manor is the most extreme haunted house you can legally visit in the USA, though the legality of some of the things that go on there is questionable to say the least. Basically, it's a place you can sign up to visit for a chance to live your very own personalized horror movie.
Oh yeah?
The attraction was set up by Russ Mckamey, who started it up in San Diego, California, back in the early 2010s.
Well, he ugly as
People in the
fuck.
local area back then knew about the
Look at her
infamous
mouth.
Mckamey Manor, which had been the source of many controversies and
Yo, they
news
drowning
headlines.
there.
A lot of stories were circulating throughout the community about what was going on at the place, and some of those stories were dark to say the least. The attraction, which billed itself as an audience participation survival horror event, had come to be known as a real-life torture chamber run by a psycho. People were going into the manor looking for a fun time, only to leave with both mental and physical scars. Due to all these rumors and controversies, the manor had to relocate to 2 separate locations in Alabama and Tennessee, locations that you can still visit to this day. But if you do find yourself accepted onto a Mckamey Manor tour, you should go in knowing that it's not like other haunted houses or immersive experiences.
Why not?
There aren't any zombies, or ghosts, or jump scares inside. There isn't even really a manor at all, as most of what will happen to you will take place in the back of a windowless van. What there are paid actors, who are legally allowed to bind you, gag you, and make your deepest and darkest fears come to life.
Like, what the fuck is that picture?
Now, that might not sound like your idea of a fun Sunday afternoon, but there are quite a few thrill seekers who are attracted to that type of experience. An opportunity to be pushed to their limits. That's why back in 2015, there
Yo,
was a
he in
waiting
a
list
fucking,
of about
hold on.
20.
Take this picture in. This is a 280-pound man in a red Kool-Aid shirt with a muffin top. Soaked in piss, most likely piss, surrounded by jars of excrement and blood, with a cage fitted around his double chin that is also stuffed with what looks like to me dookie turds and live snakes. His clutched fist does not say he's enjoying this.
57,000 people, all of whom wanted to gain access to Mckamey Manor. Well, That.
Oh, that's a
chance to
creepy.
win
Look at his eyes.
$20,000.
His eyes are actually creepy. Are those can't be his real eyes. Those are definitely fake teeth, but those eyes actually look pretty fucked.
See, there's no charge to enter Mckamey Manor at all. You just have to add your name to the sign-up list.
Pass.
If Mckamey selects you after a background check, it's completely free to enter. All the owner requests is that you bring a bag of dog food with you on the day of your event, which he'll donate to a local greyhound.
What do you think he looks for in the background check? Like, he probably just looks to see if you're a journalist or something.
Shelter. Once inside, there are just 2 rules. No swearing, and no attacking the actors.
No attacking.
If you can last 10 hours inside the manor, Mckamey himself guarantees to pay you the $20,000 prize money. So far, not a single person has lasted the whole 10 hours.
Do they die?
What are the controversies with the place? Well, we'll get to that shortly. First, let's assume you sign up to visit the manor and all goes well.
Okay.
You get selected, and Russ Mckamey asks you to come and face your fears for a chance to win a fat cash prize.
Ooh, money.
Before you start your day at the manor, you'll have to sign a suspicious legal document. A 40-page waiver. Here are a few of the waiver's main points.
Let's see this. I want to see this.
Article 19. Participant was warned numerous times about the intensity of Mckamey Manor, and by the owners and other members of the crew, that you really don't want to do this. Article 20. Participant agrees and understands that your life in reality is not in danger, and that this is just a game. Article 21. Participant agrees and understands that during the tour and while in the van, they will not be secured by a seatbelt or any other safety device. Article 22. Participant understands and agrees that they are not being tortured and that this is just a game. Article 23. Participant understands and agrees that they are not being beat up, kicked, slugged, or actually physically harmed. They will be roughed up, but no one is there to hurt you.
What?
Knowing that, Mckamey Manor is very rough and not for the meek. Participant will have bumps, bruises, possible black eyes, swelling of the face, etc.
No.
Article 24. Participant understands and agrees that they are never being held against their will.
It sounds like a bullshit.
After stressing several times that the experience is just a game, the points in the waiver start to become more and more bizarre.
Yeah.
Article 28.
What's this one?
Participant fully understands that by signing this waiver, they are giving Mckamey Manor permission to keep nothing off the table. Everything imaginable can and will happen inside Mckamey
It's
Manor.
like, we will rape you if we
You're
want to.
aware
It's
of
like,
this,
whoa,
and are giving full
whoa,
permission for
whoa.
any action that may happen inside Mckamey Manor.
Don't do such a thing
Article
to me.
29. Participant agrees to and has full knowledge that if selected to visit the barber, participant may leave Mckamey Manor completely bald, including eyebrows. Article 30. Participant agrees and acknowledges that mousetraps are used within the tour, which may result in bruising, cutting, or breakage of fingers.
Why you want to break my fingers? Why do
Article
you want to?
31.
What's wrong with this dude?
Participant agrees that if selected, they could be buried alive under 12 feet of dirt and rock, to which they will have a limited amount of air, and that they will have to figure out how to escape, and they could possibly breathe in a significant amount of dirt, dust, or foreign objects that may cause death if participant does not breathe properly or hold their breath at the right time.
Jesus Christ.
Article 32. Participant agrees to partake, if selected to participate, in a height stunt that involves walking a plank 25 meters above the ground without a safety net. Article 33. Participant agrees that if selected, they will come into contact with a variety of live, poisonous animals. It's the participant's responsibility to not panic or agitate the animals. If the participant is bitten, it's because the participant made a sudden movement within a confined, secured environment.
Yeah, they crazy.
Many people in the past have signed this waiver after either not reading it properly or assuming it was all just designed to frighten them. There's no way
Stupid.
the attraction could be that extreme, right?
No, it's stupid.
Well, many former participants have come forward, saying that Mckamey Manor is more than just a game.
Yeah, they probably beat him up
That in
and
their eyes,
sexually
they were
assaulted
undoubtedly
him
the
and
non-consenting victims of torture.
did all types of fucked up
Case
shit
in
too.
point, Amy Mulligan.
Let's see Amy. Oh,
Amy
damn.
Manor was selected to take part in the Mckamey Manor tour when it was still operating in San Diego. Assured that it was all just a game, she willingly signed the waiver.
They
and
got
decided to
Dookie in
enter
her
the manor
nose.
with high hopes of winning the $20,000 prize.
Oh, 20K.
According to Amy, though, her
This is
experience
her?
was more than a game.
What did they rub on her
Along with the
face?
cuts and bruises she was warned about,
I'm
she
trying to
was
make her
also
eat a
waterlogged,
spider.
to the point that she almost drowned, and her body started involuntarily thrashing around. She begged for the so-called actors to stop, told them that she couldn't breathe, but they
Damn.
apparently just laughed in her face and told her, "You're not done yet."
Ooh.
She continually withdrew her consent, telling them that she wanted the tour to stop, but she was ignored again and again. The actors were enjoying their job too much. In her words, "My hair was wrapped around my neck, and I started to freak out. I'm telling them I can't breathe, and they're just laughing and doing it more." Amy says that she was convinced in that moment that she had entered a house of psychos, and that she wouldn't make it out with her life.
Oh, yeah. I
Thankfully,
wouldn't doubt
she
it.
did, and at the end of it all, was asked for a video interview by Mckamey. All of the tours at the manor are recorded, so that Mckamey can advertise his attraction online. He even has his own YouTube account, where he uploads some of his tours, along with other content, such as these post-tour interviews. In hers, Amy said that despite her traumatic experience, she actually had a great time at the manor. The only reason she said that, however, was because she wanted Mckamey to upload her experience on the internet. That way, she'd have proof that she was indeed tortured. Well, Mckamey did indeed upload the video of Amy's experience at the manor, but, according to her, he edited out the most extreme parts. Other
most
pastoral seekers
extreme
have said
parts,
that they
huh?
were forced to give positive video interviews at the end of their tours, terrified about what might happen if they didn't. One such person was Laura Hertz Brotherton. Before she was allowed to come to the manor and face her fears, Laura was told that she had to prove her loyalty to Mckamey by completing a set of simple tasks. Brotherton found these preliminary tasks to be fun, and it got her excited about her upcoming tour. When the day of her event finally arrived, she was surprised when she met the owner, Russ Mckamey himself. Apparently, he was exceptionally cold towards her. Laura had arrived at the manor with her boyfriend. After signing her waiver, the first thing Mckamey did was publicly expose an affair Laura was having with another man online. She had secretly engaged with another fan of Mckamey Manor on Facebook and started a romantic relationship with him. Laura's boyfriend was actually aware of this, but the wife of her new romantic partner was not. Despite being humiliated, Laura was determined to persevere. Mckamey, who was apparently morally offended when he found out she was having an affair, remained cold to her for the duration of her tour.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt
According
that.
to Laura, her experience was much more intense than that of other guests at the manor. When asked about her day there, Laura said, "I was waterboarded. I was tased.
Oh.
I was whipped. I still have scars of everything they did to me. I was repeatedly hit in the face, over and over and over again, like open-handed, as hard as a man can hit a woman in the face." Laura went on to add that her mouth was duct-taped, her eyes blindfolded, and that she was submerged in water by her ankles. Just like Amy, she was held under the water for so long that her body began to spasm involuntarily.
Yeah.
After this, Laura was forced to dig a hole in the earth with her bare hands. She was then thrown inside said hole before being buried alive with only a small straw through which to breathe. She was left alone underground for 30 minutes. After she was finally unearthed and stopped gasping for breath, she repeated the safe word for several minutes before finally being allowed to leave.
I wonder what the safe word
Laura, who was admitted to hospital after her tour, later went on to tell the authorities about what happened to her at the manor. She presented them with photos of herself, showing her swollen face, cut and bruised skin, puffy lips, fractured foot, and lumped head. Despite this, the authorities said they couldn't help her due to the waiver that she had signed. Russ Mckamey didn't even deny any of the injuries he caused her, and even admitted to exposing her affair online.
Damn.
"Any personal information we have," said Mckamey, "we'll use it against you in the tour." Eventually, Mckamey Manor was forced to move out of San Diego and relocate to Alabama and Tennessee, two separate locations. Mckamey himself says that the move was for financial reasons.
So they do psychological horror and everything. They're like, motherfucker, if we find out you was having sex with old lady or something, motherfucker, we'll have her there. Nigga, she'll be in the tour, motherfucker, with her ass out. You're like, what?
Though many believe it's because those states would be more likely to side with him if a participant ever tried to sue him. Not to mention the bad reputation he and his experience had in the San Diego community. The authorities have been called to the manor multiple times by local residents, appalled by Mckamey's unethical practices. One time, the police even found a woman locked in a basement there.
Ooh.
She was bruised, shivering, and her mouth was gagged with duct tape.
Damn.
After confirming that what was happening to her was consensual, the authorities had no choice but to leave.
Huh. I wonder what she was like, please
Mckamey
take me
Manor
with
is
you.
obviously an extreme immersive event, to put it lightly. But even so, everything is supposedly above board and legal. Supposedly being the key word. Here's where a little conspiracy comes into the mix.
Oh, here we go.
A few conspiracies, actually. Let's start with the first question. How does Mckamey pay for all of this?
He rich.
Like I said before, he doesn't charge anybody to come to the manor. All his guests have to do is bring a bag of dog food. That's not exactly a great business model. With insurance costs, an on-site EMT to pay, actors, and general upkeep, it's estimated that each tour costs him about $500 to put on.
Ooh.
Mckamey is a US Navy veteran. All of the actors are ex-military too. Where does he find the money to run multiple haunts each weekend? Some theorize that he must make a profit from the tour somehow. As mentioned, all of the tours are filmed with high-quality cameras and lighting. Some people believe that Mckamey sells the most extreme footage on the dark web, or perhaps even streams it to paying viewers. Some even think he allows these viewers to vote on what happens to each guest next, and for how long.
He definitely sells it on the dark web. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's an easy bag for him. It's just straight up softcore torture porn and a Halloween theme. You're an idiot if you ever sign up to do this.
If we've learned anything from other mysteries on this channel, it's that there are plenty of sick individuals in the world who'd be willing to pay for that kind of content.
Oh yeah. They're
Others think that
nasty
Mckamey
folk.
live streams the tours to a betting pool in Las Vegas. If you ain't paying for the product, you are the product kind of thing. Mckamey himself claims he doesn't make any money from the tours whatsoever. That sounds suspicious to a lot of folks, and when taking into account the high production quality of his video content, you have to ask yourself, is the manor even real at all? The news stories, controversies, being chased out of San Diego,
Yo, they
the
putting a
excessively
dookie
grotesque
drill
video
in
footage,
his mouth.
it could all just be a way to drum up
Yo,
public.
this is an insane photo. Look at this photo, bro. Is that a fucking TV? Is that a TV filled with piss? And then he's just like, I got piss in my mouth. I got piss in my mouth. I'm dying. They're killing me. I'm dying. Wait, they're fucking killing this guy. What the hell is that next to his face? Is that a hand? What the fuck is that next to his face? Just a bunch of worms? A bunch of little fucking... What the fuck is that?
Publicity. A viral marketing campaign. Though the manor experience is indeed real, perhaps it's a lot more tame in reality than the stories and media would have us believe. After
Why the way
all,
they do it,
some of the
fucking
stories
him
that have
out?
come out of the manor are so extreme, you have to wonder how Mckamey hasn't either been sued into the ground or downright locked up. Sure, he gets his guests to sign a waiver, but could such a waiver even be legally binding? Then again, it's also been claimed that he has been sued many times before, but just hasn't publicly admitted to it. And then there's the question of the $20,000 prize, which may not even exist. Some think that Mckamey just uses that as a way to lure people into signing up for his manor experience, as he gets his thrills from inflicting pain on others, and that he only selects people who he and his crew can easily manipulate. Manipulate into obedience, and into not going public with their stories. Russ Mckamey maintains that the $20,000 prize is indeed real and very winnable, though one Redditor recalls a Marine who came close to completing the 10-hour-long challenge, only for Russ to call it all off at the very last moment, saying that the guest had had enough and that he was concerned for his safety. In conclusion, Mckamey Manor is a place shrouded in a lot of mystery. It's not entirely clear what goes on behind its walls, or more often than not, van walls, but if some of the stories out there are anything to go by, and there are a lot of them, then I personally wouldn't recommend adding your name to the waiting list. There's a series on Netflix called Dark Tourist, where the host visits Mckamey Manor. You can check that out if you want to hear and see more about this mysterious place.
Hear and see more.